Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining me on Chit Chatting with Jocelyn. I'm your host, Jocelyn, as you all know, and we have a busy half hour coming up for you. I have Miss Copp back, one of our favorite guests, and she is running for Executive Council. So we want to find out, what is the Executive Council? What actual precinct is she running for Executive Council? And how you can help her. And then we're going to dive right into, there were 3 lawsuits and 91As filed today. So it's been quite a busy day for the Secretary of State, and what it means to you and me. Basically, get rid of the machines. I know you can all wrinkle your nose and crinkle your eyes and say, oh no, Jocelyn. We have entire countries that hand count their ballots, and they do a perfectly good job at it. Small towns, you know what? So get 5 or 6 people to be up for 2 or 3 hours and actually count them, because you know what? We're lucky if we get 16% of the population to show up. Nashua and Manchester, it may take you a little bit longer, but doesn't your vote count? Doesn't matter whether you're Democrat, Independent, Republican. All of our votes count. We cannot have them disappearing, going into the wrong box. We just cannot have odd things happening. I'm going to leave it there, because our vote, our state, we decide who we want to elect, not who we're told we're going to select. So on that note, thank you, Ann, for joining me. And I see you brought our favorite lion.
Yep, Leo the lion, who
Leo the
represents
lion.
the resolve.
The resolve, absolutely. And we will be talking about that as well. So talk to me about running for Executive Council. I know you had a bad taste in your mouth after being a legislator, and to date you still never had a personal, face-to-face, honest apology from the speaker.
That's right.
So that's on the record. And isn't he running?
I think he's running in Londonderry.
In Londonderry, that's right.
The town page doesn't want to show the video to the voters to let them know who they're actually electing. So
Yeah.
that's something we'll deal with.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah. So, so you're running for Executive Council.
Yes.
And what precinct is that
It's
for?
actually District
5,
and that's in Nashua. And it also includes 32 towns,
Oh, wow.
3 counties. It's incredible. It's
That's
wonderful,
big.
though. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. Lots of folks.
And what does an Executive Council person do?
What they're supposed to do is follow the Constitution, and what they're supposed to do is defend the citizens, and what they're supposed to do is hold the governor's feet to the fire, because the executive branch has in our case, Executive Council, almost like their lieutenant governor.
Okay.
They hold the feet to the fire of things that happen that maybe or have to be approved through the Executive Council, and we can say no and put the brakes on. Runaway spending, federal money coming in, certain contracts that we don't want to approve. So the Executive Council is where that would happen. They also do appointments. Once again, listen to the citizenry and not appoint certain individuals that we asked them not to appoint. In Gordon MacDonald from the AG's office during the 2020 shutdown, who then became a Supreme Court justice. That position was left open for 18 months. The last biennium, that executive branch, the Executive Council branch, was all Democrat, and they said no. The governor left that position open for 18 months, which put an incredible strain on the judiciary system, because the court and all the supportive staff didn't have that extra Supreme Court justice for 18 months. Now you got to ask yourself how that happens, and why his personal attorney stepped into AG Gordon MacDonald's old position as AG.
Was there a sort of a really good timing going on there?
I don't know. This is legal speak for me. I don't know. But as far as Executive Council goes, as a unified body, they need to be changed, because they're not standing up, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. And we, the people, have kicked up a fuss enough times. October 13th, which is the birth of the resolve, actually, I think it was 9 citizens of New Hampshire were arrested at a public meeting where they were guests. They weren't interlopers, they were not doing anything untoward at that meeting. As a matter of fact, one of the ladies who is the founder of the resolve was arrested for emphatically saying the word amen. That's what they say in the court
I've actually seen the paperwork, and it says that she emphatically, they insinuated that she yelled and screamed and pounded her chest, and but it's not. It was under your breath. And by the way, even if she did, That's a First Amendment right.
Exactly. And the people, the citizens of New Hampshire, have to scurry and find those videos, because there's several out there on YouTube, and also people's personal video of that day and some of the footage that you can actually see how the people behaved that day. There was no screaming, swearing, yelling, throwing things, or threatening anyone in a manner that would precipitate being arrested.
The only thing was
silent protest. They stood up and turned their back.
I was just going to say, the only thing they did was a silent protest.
Most professional, most ladylike and gentlemanly thing you can do is stand up and turn your back. I've done it at school board meetings when they shut off the mic.
Didn't they do that at the inauguration of 46?
Yep. So I turned my back. So that's the same thing. It's a protest, but it's in the most ladylike and gentlemanly like manner.
And silent.
So why would you be arrested for that? So him and the governor involving the state police, it's unfortunate, because you never want to paint with a broad brush with the state police. They put their lives on the line every day for us. We respect them immensely. But he turned them into Stasi brown shirts and doing his bidding, violating their own oaths.
Well, the other thing I found very disconcerting was the number of state police that he had, and that they were
there, and
hiding,
they had paddy wagons ready for you guys,
and hiding behind a curtain.
Yep. Anyone that
I'm sorry, that's
investigates
inexcusable.
this will understand and emphatically come down on the side of the citizens in this argument. So,
well, I think you and I had. Were you at that one?
I wasn't at that one.
So I wasn't at that one either. You and I had been to the previous two.
Well, one for me, maybe two.
Okay, I went for two, and the venues were never big enough.
No.
Not even close, never big enough, and we were outside. It's freezing cold, or it's raining, or whatever. But we stood there.
To your participation.
Yeah, but we stood there. We did the right thing. We protested. We didn't do anything except what is our God-given, constitutional Bill of Rights.
That's right. And if you don't know your rights, you don't have any, because you can't represent yourself.
Correct. And isn't the bottom line? We are the employers.
Yes.
They seem to
have flipped the script on that one.
Yes.
It's opposite now. The elitists tell us what to do, and that's not. In fact, that's another reason for the resolve. We the People NH.org is a citizen movement. There are no politicians in that group. There's no big money in that group. It's all volunteers, and they want their government back, and they're taking it back.
Yeah,
in the most polite and ladylike way.
Well, I'm pretty sure that initially, isn't it?
Yeah.
It'll be 2 years in December. We the people, which is our right, fired Chris Sununu.
Yeah.
But they all laugh and they joke because you know what? They haven't read the New Hampshire Constitution. They believe they're an entity and a power unto themselves. I mean, it's really disconcerting when you realize that we do have good people, but they are being silenced. They're being shoved into a corner. You're a perfect example. You're being ghosted. You're arrested. All these things happen. And it's illegal. It's unconstitutional. But they have got this pseudo-government.
It's a cabal.
Yeah.
Don't forget, September 9th, we're having also debates for the gubernatorial candidates, and WMUR is going to run it. So the good thing about that is in the last election, 2020, Karen Testerman, some of the others were totally iced out. They couldn't even debate.
Well, they were never
the
mentioned. Their name was not even put up.
They weren't even pictured, and some state reps got together with their governor, because some state reps just want his signature on their bill, which is outrageous.
And
you're a citizen. You're supposed to represent constituency in your district. That's what you do as a representative. You don't belong to any group. You don't represent anyone else but the people in your district, and that has been something lost on current representatives.
Absolutely.
So I'm hoping this new wave of new freshman representatives that come in will understand their duty and the Constitution and what they have to do to support.
Well, when you're handed the how many bills at the beginning of the session?
It was like 1,500.
1,500 people.
It's ridiculous.
They're handed these bills.
Yep.
I am 99.99999% sure I didn't ask for any one of them.
No.
I am 99.999% sure that there is not one citizen
have you ever been
asked for those.
Did any representative in your district?
But we're supposed to be asking for those.
That's
no.
Right.
Well, we have these bills and we are doing this.
Right.
No.
Elitist.
That is you dictating. We elected you. We did not. We didn't elect you for you to dictate.
Right.
We elected you to represent, and I'm not seeing it. I don't think anybody's
It
seeing
comes
it.
back to our Constitution, our state Constitution, and our platform. People that vote for people straight ticket ours because they think they're doing the right thing need
Yep.
an education because they're really not. We have an influx of what we call representatives, Republicans in name only.
Yep.
They are not in name only. They vote against us. So I call that an operative of some sort. We don't know what, but they're not Republican.
Correct. Right. The other thing is, oh, it just went out of my head and went out again. For the,
Well, the resolve, we have a sample ballot coming up. That's very
thank you.
important.
I was going to ask you about
Yes.
the ballot because there's a, in addition, we have people saying, oh, we have too many people running. That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's going to water down and the person you want to get out is going to win anyway. No, if everybody gets off the couch, if
Participate
everybody
in the primary.
participates
That's right.
and understands this is the greatest country in the world and this is the greatest right that you could have, and you're sitting there eating bonbons and ice cream because you're too lazy or you can't
Well-
be bothered. This is important, and this is how you elect really who you want. You don't allow the elite to select who you're then allowed to elect in November.
Let me quickly reiterate. In the
Yep.
primary, the GOP will tell you, well, we already have a slate together. You can't run. Try next time. And they pat you on the head and send you on your way. Most citizens agree and say, oh, okay, I'll come back next time. No. Every Republican has a right, and it's, I'm sure, true for the Democrats as well, to come into the primary and add your name to the ballot. It
Yep.
should be on the ballot.
Correct.
When that doesn't happen, you could probably put your name as a write-in, but the write-ins typically do not work in any town because they don't know you well enough.
Correct.
That is a good thing for the next election to get your name out there and let people know who you are, and you go door to door and you speak to people. They get to know who you are, and the next election you usually get elected. In this case, we're doing a statewide ballot initiative for our it's going to be the primary this time.
Correct.
Instead of putting your candidate's name, like circling the oval, you write in their name, and you can see their name above, who you choose. In
With the
this case,
exact
I'm
spelling.
choosing Karen Testerman for governor. I write her name in and circle the oval next to her name on the write-in line. Each box for each office has a write-in line. And if there are more than one, there's more than one write-in space. So you can put
Okay.
in 2 or 3 different
Instead of, even
write-ins.
though her name shows
Don't
up above,
pay attention to the ballot. 'cause
don't fill in the
that's right.
circle of the printed one on
Right.
the ballot. Write that person's name in printing yourself.
And I'll tell you why that's important.
But let me just say, make sure the spelling is exactly what is on the ballot.
What's important about that, we tried many times to have our local municipalities take away the machines, and the people, once again, were not listened to.
Correct.
In this case, when you write someone's name on the ballot, the machine cannot count it. They
It
have
kicks
to
it
put
out into a
separately, and
special
it has to be
drawer, right?
counted at the end of the night. So your ballot will be counted. And the spelling, everything is there. You don't have to worry about it. Just make sure you put it on the line below that says write in and circle the oval on the write in line. Very simple. In fact, the
Wow, that's
ballot is just like a guide for you. You find their name, you copy it exactly as it is down, and fill in the oval on the
Make
write-in
sure it's
space.
legible.
It will be legible.
Yeah.
People, the election people sometimes don't give our citizens credit. They know the intent of the voter, and we're going to challenge them at any time that they say they don't. We can remind them that we can read and they can read. So
Well, the last thing I heard was that I'm not positive where it came from. You may know, but the town clerks were given 10 pages of 2022 election ballot procedures, RSAs. We don't know anybody that voted for them. We don't know anybody in the legislature that passed them, that brought them forth and voted on them. So who made up these RSAs? Who voted them in? Who voted on them? Because I don't know one person, no one has owned up to it, and there's over 400 people. So either some commission or the Secretary of State just decided to, send this out, and our town clerks are supposed to follow these. And one of them says how to how to deal with unruly, dictatorial voters that are
Outrageous.
demanding to have their
I
ballot hand
recommend
counted.
that you do have poll watchers, and also always recommend that they are polite, professional, and you speak your mind. You don't have to scream or anything like that.
Correct.
You just stand there and say, no, I will not be moving. This is my constitutional right to be standing right here so I can see the process. There's no one that could argue that. If you get unruly, then they could probably use that as the excuse to
Correct.
remove you, but don't let that happen because we need all eyes on this election. Last time we didn't have enough volunteers because we didn't know we needed to watch the vote
Correct.
so closely because these are our people. This is our state. These are the election laws, and people that we voted for, we hope that they had our back. But since we learned that not everybody does, we have to have our own back, and you have to be there
and
to
we
watch.
the people have to be responsible for our votes. Stop relying on everybody else.
That's right.
We are the employer. We watch the process. We are the ones that are to dot every I and cross every T.
Well, I recommend that everyone go to We the People, New Hampshire, which is nh.org, and look at the website so they can give you guidance. If you're not sure who to vote for in your district, those will tell you the patriotic folks that have passed the muster test, if you will.
Correct.
The Constitution. They know the platform of the party that they're representing. They understand the U.S. Constitution. And then when they have that information, then they can make an informed decision on who to vote for to represent them.
Right. Don't just
Traditionally,
pick whether there's an R
2
or
years
a
go
D
by
or
and you won't
anything
see that
after
next
it.
person again for another
Correct.
2 years when they're electioneering you. So when they're out there now knocking on your door, ask them those tough questions, because they are going to be representing you if you vote for them.
And this matters.
Absolutely.
It all matters. Look at your taxes. Look at the price of gas. Look at how many businesses are opened or closed. Look at what's going on in your schools. Look at where your property taxes are going. All of this matters. All of this matters because it starts at the bottom, it starts locally, and works its way up. This is who you want to follow. We the People, NH, that's capitalized, .org, O-R-G.
Can they see on that other camera over there? I don't know where it went.
I think so.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So you see these signs on the side of the road, that's what it means. Look up the website and you'll understand more of what's happening.
Yep. Pay attention to the signs. The other thing I want to say is all of the candidates, all, have spent a lot of their own personal, well, I'm not going to say all. I need to take that
Resolve
back.
candidates.
The Resolve candidates have spent their own hard-earned money.
Shoestring budgets.
Correct. There's no outside money coming from them. There's no Mitch McConnell PAC sending money to the selected and elected elite to purchase signs. All these signs are purchased by the candidates. So if you see someone destroying one or knocking it down, get out and put it back up.
Take a picture.
Take a picture. Do not let them destroy them. Fix them. I put up people's signs and I see one knocked down.
Fallen over from the
Fallen
wind
over.
sometimes.
I don't care whose it is. I put it back up because I've run for office and those signs are extremely, extremely expensive.
They are.
And it's only right, again, we're not a democracy, we're a republic.
Constitutional
We're a
republic.
constitutional
That's right.
republic. And we must treat everybody equally. Not like some of the administrations are, picking and choosing.
Right.
We must be better than them. They like to throw that term around. That's not who we are. Yes, it is, and you're admitting it. So talk to me. So if you make it through the primary, then your name will be on the ballot for executive council in November.
Yes.
But what happens if you don't make it through the primary?
We're still going to follow through on our write-in campaign. All of the candidates that you wanted, even if they didn't get through the primary, write their name in again on the general election ballot.
Because?
Because number one, the machines can't count it and it has to be hand counted, so you have a very valuable output of your vote. You can really prove who voted where, when, what, and for whom. So that's very important. So we're not going anywhere. The Resolve is going to be here to stay. It is a citizen movement, so it's every one of your neighbors, your next door people you work for, all the people, citizens in New Hampshire who have felt left out of the process can now be a part of the process, and it's a wonderful thing. And don't ever forget, there's more of us than there are of them. Any of your elected officials, there are people they have to answer to, and that would
There's
be
more
we
of
the
us,
people.
meaning good
We the
people,
people.
than
That's right.
corrupt people. The other thing to, if somebody, if somebody doesn't make it through the primary, it's not sour grapes to say, well, I'm going to write them in. We're not 100% sure that there haven't been any, what was the word you
Shenanigans
used?
or voter irregularities?
Irregularities
Yes.
going on, because it has happened. It has been proved in multiple states. And we need to ensure that your voice and your vote counts.
And it's a nonpartisan
that's how
issue,
we
like
do
you
it.
said earlier. It's libertarian, independent, Republican, Democrat. It doesn't matter. You want your vote to count, no matter whom you are. And the citizens want results to be reflective of the actual vote. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. We go back and say, okay, better luck next time. We need to work harder. But that's not a fair statement if your election was so many irregularities that the true person who won the election was not reflected in the numbers. So
and if you truly believe, and there's nothing wrong with if you truly believe Anne is the person, you write her name in on November 3rd. Is that right?
That's right.
November 3rd.
It might be the 8th.
Wait a minute.
November 3rd was
I lied.
2020.
Wait a minute. Let me double
We
check.
don't wanna, and
you know what I
every
was
citizen
thinking?
can double check
I was
too.
thinking last year.
We had people
or 2
that
years
forgot
ago.
about the primary, and it was the day after, and they realized it was the Tuesday before.
It's the 9th.
Okay, November. It's
November 9th. It's a Tuesday.
Yep.
Oh,
no, November 8th.
Still wrong. The 8th.
See, we're acting just like our citizens. We're not sure. So make sure you nail down those 2 dates, September 13th and November 8th, on your calendar so that we don't have any mishaps.
Man, I haven't done that in a long time.
That was a perfect exercise. Thank you for showing the citizens how we are.
Well, exactly. We've got to make sure
We're so busy. Everyone's
and I haven't written
so
it in
hard.
yet because
That's right.
I'm putting out signs.
Yep.
You know, filing
Well,
paperwork
think of moms and dads that are working and they're picking their kids up
picking
from
up
school,
kids,
bringing
doing
them to
sports. Yeah, we've got you guys.
Dry cleaning and doing grocery shopping. You know, they have like a moment to pick their head up, and that's why the resolve is so important, because we're doing all that legwork for them. If they agree with our principles, they agree with the website overall, they're going to agree with the candidates.
Absolutely. And again, doing your research. The Resolve has done a lot of research, talking to people, talk to the candidates directly. And another thing, contribute to their campaigns
locally,
directly.
Yes.
Give them a check. Donate directly. If it's $5, if it's $10, they are so grateful because the bills are huge. And I'm going to drop some news here that I found out last night. So Boston TV Media will be running ads for Chuck Morse. He received $3 million, that's with an M, dollars from Mitch McConnell's PAC. No outside money should ever come into a state
to influence our politics when they don't even live here.
I mean, that's not right. Well, no, that money should go to everybody equally or not at all. I would prefer no PAC money, no outside money, and a limit of the donation amount within the state.
Now, I will tell you the frustration of some candidates, whether they be state rep or otherwise. They see a smattering of signs on the corner somewhere, and it's just so many. It's overwhelming for the voter to see that many signs. And people have been mistakenly told that the more signs, the more approach, the more, bang for the buck, the more contact you have with the citizens. Not true at all. And if we could limit that money coming in, and it all becomes trash the day after the election.
Correct.
Those H stakes, those metal stakes are $1 a piece. So a lot of money spent on these campaigns. It does not need to be.
Well, the other thing is, there's certain people that are so crazy about the environment and climate change. You are talking about a ginormous issue with these signs and the metal. And
the rusty hoop stakes from those balloon signs. They fit over like a U shape that goes in the ground.
Use them in your garden.
Catches them and they get thrown all around.
Take them, pick them up, get them back to the candidate would be really nice. Worst case scenario, take them to the recycling center. Otherwise, store them in your garage, store them in your shed. I go around and I find them, I pick them up, I put them, if I can get them to the candidate, I do. If I can't get them to the candidate, then I use them in my garden.
Next time too, the candidate comes knocking on your door, if you want to support that candidate, here's some H stakes for you. They're $1 a piece, which next election they'll be $2 a piece. It's just crazy.
Oh, the way the world's going right now?
Inflation. Oh, let's not even get off on that topic.
So you're running for District 5.
Yep, Executive
Council.
There are 5 seats throughout the state, so depending on what District 1, 2, 3, or 4 that you're in, and Therese Grinnell from the Resolve is running in District 4 in Manchester, so keep her name.
You're running in 5, so Therese's District 4, Grinnell. Ann Copp is running in District 5.
Right.
And go to the Resolve, or We the People, NH, that's capital.org, and find out the candidates in your districts, in your precincts, whatever it's called. what
I'm
their
also
name
on
is.
Citizens Count. A lot of the reps went and filled out their Citizens Count, which is a neutral, nonpartisan group, which is
Go and look.
wonderful for folks that don't want to spend the money to run up a website.
Yep.
Puts all your positions on all the issues there for you to look at. And that's Citizens Count in New Hampshire for all
Citizens
the candidates.
Count. Okay.
Yep.
And just be careful, and this goes for everybody, both sides. Don't just automatically believe what somebody says to you. Actually kind of go look and see what they're voting, how they're
Record.
voting, what
If
their
they're an
record
incumbent,
is.
Yep. Look at their
And
record.
that they're actually on the committees they say they're on.
Yep.
Oh, I'm for the Democratic platform. I'm for the Republican platform. I'm for this platform. Know what that platform is, because I'm telling you, they don't in many cases, and they're not following it. They're doing, well, we'll take care of that next time. No, we need these things taken care of this time, and the problems that they create, we need solutions and we need them done. Not, oh, we're going to take care of this, promise you for the next time. You need to be talking to candidates that have solutions.
And when elected, make sure they read the bills, because a lot of times they're not reading the bills. A lot of the things wrapped in the omnibus budget bill of June of 2021 were things that the reps didn't even read. So
Well,
that's
and let's stop
outrageous.
omnibus bills.
Standalone, pass or fail. If it doesn't, then that's it. It's done.
One bill.
That's right.
One vote. Don't lump them together.
Right.
Again, we're the employers' people, and I'm not saying that to be a jerk. We, the people, made a social compact with the state to represent us.
We need to take that
We need
back
to take that back.
and be more active.
And oh, by the way,
That's
the
right.
state made a social compact with the federal government. The federal government has no say over us.
That's right.
None.
State sovereignty first.
State sovereignty.
Yep.
Always. Well, thank you so much. Do you want to hold the sign up one more time for the
sure.
resolve?
I'm not sure if you can see it.
Get involved,
If you
everybody.
see this on the road somewhere, I'm not sure which
Pay
camera.
attention.
Or this one. I'm not sure where it's showing, but hopefully you get to see that. If you
Absolutely.
can see my face, you'll see it, and they'll be around.
If you get a chance, do a standout, do a
Yep.
sign wave.
Yep.
You just get one of the signs, or you know what? Just wave the American flag.
That's it right there. Just show up at any standout and bring a flag. You'll be welcome.
We are Americans first.
That's right.
Be patriotic first. That counts. God, country, or God, family, and country.
Right.
This is what it's all about. That's who we are. That's who you are. And if your God is a source, if your God is Mother Nature, I'm just saying God as a faith, whatever your faith is. We need to get back to those. Hold your schools accountable. Pay attention to your school board members. Make sure that they're not spending your money and you don't know what they're spending it on.
Thank you, Jocelyn.
Thank you so much for coming. As always, drip, drip, drip. Keep the information coming out. Can't wait to hear from you next time.
Thank you.